You don't have a motivation problem, you have a structure problem. And once you understand this, consistency gets a lot simpler. In this video, I'm going to show you why this distinction matters and how to build structure so that it takes over when motivation fails. Most of us assume consistency comes from a heightened desire. The reality is this is wrong. Let's talk about why. The first thing to keep in mind is that motivation is merely a feeling. It's like happiness, sadness, despair, hell, I don't know, there's lots of emotions, right? And motivation is an emotion just like the rest of them. And we know that motivations come and go. It can depend on what's happening in life, which comes into the next point is that, if you're watching my videos, I'm going to assume that you're probably about middle age like me in your 30s or 40s. And let's face it, we have responsibilities, we have constraints, some of us more, some of us less. We typically have jobs, we have families, we have, all kinds of other commitments. And these can affect the motivation and our desire on certain days. I guess desire is a bad word, but you know what I mean, is like the energy in that we're going to give on certain days. But then we have this fallacy. It's like when those things take over, we tend to beat ourselves up and we're just like, we didn't try hard enough. We just need to try harder. And we have the bad side of hustle culture that's coming in there, that we beat ourselves up. And not saying that's a bad thing either, by the way. But we have this fallacy that we just need to try harder to be consistent. All while we don't have a good structure to roll with here. The reality is we're just rolling with emotions most of the time. If motivation isn't the problem and we're saying it's a structure or a system thing, how do we start to create a system to carry us through the lows of motivation? Now let's break this down. The first thing we need to do is we need to take a checklist and decide what actually deserves our time. What is most important for us to level up? Is it a fitness thing? Like you say, okay, I want to lose my weight. I want to get in shape. I want to, maybe become a little bit better husband or father. I want to create another source of income. For my family, it could be anything. It's just those are, easy examples to call out. So we need to define that. What is going to deserve our time beyond our adult constraints? The next thing you need to do is take a hard look at your schedule. I think, I know with having kids, I personally can't relate to this. Like, I'll just be straight up transparent. If you've watched my videos in the past, I don't have children, so I know that adds a whole other factor. But at the least most of us work like a consistent work schedule. Your kids might have practice and their extracurriculars on certain nights. Take a hard look at your schedule and decide where you can fit the time in to do this, because we only have 24 hours a day. It's a matter of finding those holes. So you're going to decide when you're going to work on this thing. The other thing, let's be honest, stuff happens in life, and we need to also be honest and realistic about what the minimum viable version of this thing is going to be. So, optimistically, like, I'm going to take this channel here. Like, my optimistic ideal is to dump like 15 hours a week into the channel, like make it like a part-time job. But with the adult constraints, like, I have my other commitments. Like right now, I am training to run a marathon. I have my job. I'm picking up some slack around the house because my wife's constrained. She's working on a master's. The hard, cold reality is that I probably only have about 30 to 50% of that time. And so I've had to decide what's the minimum viable version of the time that I can commit and is going to be acceptable to growing the channel. So you're going to do that, you know, like you might optimistically, like with working out, say, okay, I'm going to work out 5 days a week for 30 minutes. But the reality is the minimum might only be like 2 or 3 days for the 30 minutes. And that's okay. You define it and you say, okay, this is the least that I am going to do. The last thing, and this is kind of a bonus, is that the structure must be externalized. Like whether you grab a notepad, you get on your handy dandy phone and you download an app or two, whether it's like a simple notepad. Like with my running, you know, I have an app with my plan, my days, and laying out the runs that I'm going to do, so I know my time commitments. I'm tracking it. That goal has been defined in the app. It's externalized. It's not just in my head, because when it's all in your head, you can negotiate that and say, okay, the constraints are getting in the way. You can adjust the minimum. No, externalize it. And that's going to be the key piece to this whole thing with the structure, is when it's written down, it's externalized, you know, put into an app, it's going to become solid. So you do these 4 things and you're going to build that structure that's going to carry through that motivation, and to build that consistency. So you're going to build it without wanting it more, because I think all of us want something better enough. We all do. We all dream of more. It could be, you know, better health. It could be more money. It could be a better marriage. Something else altogether. I mean, we have those goals. We all want it more. And we know that it's a consistency thing. We all have the knowledge. We've all researched the daylights out of it. In this day and age, it's so easy to get information. In fact, too much information. But giving a system where we're defining our time we're going to put into it, we're documenting it, we're measuring it, we're building in this system, this accountability that's going to next level us, and it all comes down to that structure to carry us through. And if you've made it to this point in the video, I do appreciate you hanging on with me, and post a comment. I'm curious what kind of structure you're going to add into your life, like what deserves your time, and you know, let us know. Let's get a little discussion going. And as we come to an end, you know, I recommend don't stop your journey here. I recommend that you check out this video right here that YouTube's determined is the best one for you to keep your journey going. And y'all, with that, better every day.